Yeah, it's going to be great. I know that the fans look forward to this fixture as well. Like I said, I touched on before about the atmosphere that North Wales create and their fans create. They've got a great group of fans. I went and watched them play Swinton a few weeks ago. My eldest son, he couldn't believe how many fans went to the Swinton game from North Wales. So I know our fans really enjoy that. They really enjoy that camaraderie there that they get with the North Wales fans. They're very, very loud, the North Wales fans. So really excited to get us across there in numbers. I think it's really important that we create that atmosphere for what's going to be an absolutely amazing advert for League One Rugby League.
It's been a brilliant start to the season for your side. How's it been at the Cougars?
Yeah, it's been really exciting. We've worked really hard. The boys really train really hard. We talk a lot about choice and the choices that you can make and the sacrifices that often have come along with those choices. And my players are really aware of that, and they're really aware of sort of what we wanted to achieve and the choices that needed to be made and the sacrifices that come along with those choices. So it's been really pleasing to see them continue to make those choices, and obviously they're getting the results on the back of it, but it's all about the choice and the process with us, and it's been really pleasing so far. Got a long way to go, obviously, and we're taking each week as it comes, but so far it's been really good to see.
Well, going back to the start of the season, I mean, we're approaching the halfway point, and here you are, unbeaten, joint top with the North Wales Crusaders up at the top of League One. I mean, is it meeting your expectations or exceeding them?
Again, probably not so much the results based. I think like being undefeated doesn't really come into what we think about. We sort of look at how we're performing and what's happening on the field during the actual game. So we're certainly ahead of the curve in that respect. We really targeted some defensive objectives this year, which I think we're doing really, really well. There's still a lot of learning to go. We still need to understand how to be patient defensively and how using the ball ties into our defence and how you can build energy with the footy. But yeah, all in all, it's been pretty good so far. Work's never done. There's still a lot more to do, in my opinion, and I think the boys feel the same, Jim. But ultimately, we've got a huge fixture coming up, and we know we'll have to be on for this one.
And speaking of that defence, I mean, what is it? 66 points conceded. I've just got the league table in front of me here in 8 matches. That's not bad.
Yeah, it's been pretty good. We've sort of done a lot of discussions about how I wanted the team to defend and what each individual player's role is within that, and it often feels quite simple, so it's quite easy to sort of think you have to do more, but it's just about being patient and calm and just doing your role, and I've really felt the boys have adapted to that really, really well. We've leaked some more points in the last few weeks, sort of going away from that, which is a little bit disappointing, but each day is a learning day, so it's a good opportunity for us to look at that and reinforce what we've been doing and what we're trying to achieve. So that's been the most pleasing thing defensively for sure.
And what's the mood at the club like more generally? Because obviously this is an away game this weekend, and plenty of away support going down, a couple of coaches I think worth and that kind of thing. I mean, what's the mood at the club like more generally? I'm imagining it's bouncing at the moment.
Yeah, it's really, really exciting. We spoke about it being more than just rugby league. It's certainly something that I've always believed in, and I'm one of the few people that's probably really, really positive about rugby league in this country. I genuinely do believe it's a fantastic product. I don't think there's any huge glaring issues. I think there's a few very specific areas that can be detailed up and fixed to sort of unblock some of the blockages there to allow player development and different things like that. But certainly as a club, we speak about rugby being the product that we produce, and it's about entertainment for the community and using that as an opportunity to just people embrace the weekend and get down there and enjoy their footy and really try and break that demographic from that older group of fans, and try and get them to bring their families down. So we've had some really good success. I think we had about 450, 500 people at the first game. I think it was Doncaster at home. And then we played London Scholars at home and had, I think, 1,820. Or something like that. So we've had considerable amount of growth there with that. So it's just been great to be able to do my part of that, which is of course on the field, but it's good to feel part of that. Obviously, you've got Andrew Henderson there that's setting up the ETP pathways there for the youth in Keighley to start getting into my team. I think that's obviously the second wave of what we really need to try and achieve is some longevity as a club, and really build some roots into the community and build this club into what it should be, which is a centerpiece for the Keighley community and an opportunity for young men to come play rugby league and young women. We've got some good young girls coming through at the 13s, 14s as well, which is really exciting to see.
Yeah, so I was going to mention Andrew being appointed as head of rugby, and also link that to what's been going on at half term. Keighley Albion juniors down at the ground, as a Silsden, all good stuff, all positive stuff, like you say, growing the game both for the boys and the girls.
Yeah, it's been amazing. Having Hendo come on board is obviously a big thing, especially personally. I'm good mates with Hendo, so he came down last year and just coming, it was a bit of a mentor for me, really. There was a few bits and pieces that I knew for my own personal development as a coach. I'm big on improving. I'm a 35-year-old coach. I'm far from knowing everything and probably barely scratched the surface of what I do know, so what I could know. So having Hendo come down and just watch me and just give me a few tips and just different things like that was really, really good. And sort of had the opportunity to bring him on board, get the club to bring him on board in the capacity he is now, which I felt was a huge area that we could really push and develop on. There's just so much that we could achieve off the field. Not only for the growth of the club, but it also has an impact for us on the field. So having Hendo come on board and really take control of everything off the field and really marries up with me there. I mean, he does all the contracts and all the sort of stuff like that, and all the ETP and all the youth and all the logistical type of stuff that's when you want to grow a club that just can get out of hand really, really quickly with the growth. So he's been fantastic in that respect, and sort of what that allows me to do, it allows me to just deliver, it allows me to coach. But the other thing it does allow me to do, it allows me someone to go speak to about different ideas that I've got, because I do like to coach a different way. And since I haven't necessarily got the experience for it, I don't really know what's going to happen 3 or 4 steps ahead. So having him and Chris Black as well there as our head of performance gives me sort of 2 people that I can bounce ideas off. Or certainly when it comes to, we mentioned training hard a little while ago, that's something that I've really felt that League One clubs and part-time clubs can do. I think we can be far more efficient with our time, and it's always been a bit difficult because everyone you turn to says, no, you can't do that, it's too hard, or no, you can't do that, the players won't like it, or to. Whereas having Chris Black and Andrew Henderson there to bounce the theories off, but also having certainly Chris Black manipulating and manufacturing that so that we can train that hard while still looking after the players has been huge for me and for the club in general. So no, it's a really positive move. So I'm really excited to have him on board for 2 years. I think it's good for Keighley.
So let's go to this weekend's match because, off the pitch, I think we've demonstrated with this interview, it's going swimmingly, isn't it, at Keighley at the moment. This game this weekend is a mammoth affair. Both teams totally unbeaten. There's not too much separating you with the amount of points you scored. Your defensive record's a bit better, but they're a bit better going forward. But it's fine margins. What's your thoughts on this game against North Wales this weekend?
Yeah, really excited. I think they're an absolute top quality team. I think they have been for 2 years. I think Muzza, I voted for Muzza last year for Coach of the Year. I think he's doing an unbelievable job over there. And I think what you see is probably 2 clubs that are fairly similar philosophically. I think you go to their games, it's really light, it's really fun. There's loads of noise and they're really progressive and the ground's nice and they're really trying to make waves and move forward as a club. And I think they play that way as well. A lot of guys that are excited to play footy and they're excited to move the ball and they play a really good brand. And I know me and Muzza have discussions about this and we do enjoy being coaches of clubs like that. And so it's going to be really exciting. I think they've had that extra week off. So Muzza will be certainly getting his work done there, getting some bodies back. I know that I've watched a couple of his interviews that they've been a couple of sore bodies towards the end of their games there. So having that extra week off, I'm sure he's been ripping in there and working hard with them. So ultimately with us, it's probably been fairly similar. Trying to get people back in the frame. We've got a few medicals to be done this week to see if we can push some people into that 17 for what is going to be a huge game. So, but they have plenty of threats all across the board. They have a great forward pack. They have outstanding outside backs and coming out of backfield with Massman, Paddy Arvan and Johnson there pulling the strings. They've got a lot of threat all over the board. As you said, they're very, very good moving going forward. So we're going to have our hands full, especially over there at a big fixture. I think last time we went there in the league, we were down 26-0 after 15, 16 minutes. So we're certainly got to make sure we get off the bus and have our game ready.
And last question, Rhys. I mentioned the travelling support fair number going to North Wales this weekend. What's your message to them, and how much you're looking forward to this occasion on Saturday?
Yeah, it's going to be great. I know that the fans look forward to this fixture as well. Like I said, I touched on before about the atmosphere that North Wales create and their fans create. They've got a great group of fans. I went and watched them play Swinton a few weeks ago. My eldest son, he couldn't believe how many fans went to the Swinton game from North Wales. So I know our fans really enjoy that. They really enjoy that camaraderie there that they get with the North Wales fans. They're very, very loud, the North Wales fans. So really excited to get us across there in numbers. I think it's really important that we create that atmosphere for what's going to be an absolutely amazing advert for League One Rugby League.